to your financial life so you can focus on enjoying the retirement you've worked so hard for. Call 860-415-9614 or visit o'brienretire.com today. From Bo at O'Brien Retirement Investment Group, take care, God bless, and we look forward to speaking with you soon.
Securities and advisory services through Independent Financial Group LLC, a registered broker-dealer and investment advisor member, FINRA SIPC.
O'Brien Retirement Investment Group and Independent Financial Group are unaffiliated entities.
All right, we're back. So I think we got it all straightened out. So Tony D is now with us. You got all his credentials and his street cred. Good morning, Tony. How are you?
Good morning, Elci. Good morning, everyone. I'm proud to be among you.
All right, so it's a mess, right? There's a mess everywhere, and you have a plan to fix the mess, or nobody has a plan?
Well, I loved your monologue about socialism because something dawned on me yesterday. The reason why you have this, whatever you want to call it, proliferation in socialism, I'm starting to use SAT words that I couldn't get 50 years ago, was that you have no economy, you have no hope. And the second staggering thing that someone was saying yesterday, I take no credit for this, is in order to have communism or socialism, you need capitalism. Okay, it's like it doesn't work without money. You got to get the money from somewhere. You have to get it, or you have to tax it, or whatever the case may be. So you need people producing capital. Capital does not produce itself. And I'm back to this thing. I'm back to anything that isn't being done that needs to be done, or just, I say, Elci, where's the thought? Where's the vision? Where's the, as you say, getting the people around the table and say, no, let's work this thing out. It's just the sameness and expecting, it's whatever it is, the Einstein rule or the Ross Perot rule of you do the same thing over and over again and you expect a different result. And I'm back to this thing of, I'll give you a progress update. No one, as in Ugats, as in zero, has approached me with my idea of eliminating child poverty in 15 years by using the OBBBA accounts. I would love to have a discussion with someone, and I say to myself, because they have the name Trump, we can't use them. It's ridiculous. But I'm back to this thing last night I was looking at on qualified opportunity zones, and I hear all this stuff of it's just going to get rich guys money. And it's like, hey, wait a minute. When you're dead, and you've got to do something to show you where we're at. Now, again, this is private investment, encouraging private investment in the state of Connecticut. No one on either political party seems willing to do that. Now, we had 72 zones under 2018. The then Governor Dan Malloy had designated them. We can designate right now another 61 to show you really, however you want to look at it, the economic landscape of Connecticut. This is like 11% of the state right now, which is qualifying as quote unquote, shall we say, a place for investment. And the way this thing works is pretty simple. Doesn't involve any bureaucracies, doesn't involve public dollars. You designate the zone, an investor comes. You have 180 days after your realization for something to put into a qualified opportunity zone. And then if you leave it there for, there's benchmarks, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, you can walk away effectively with tax-free profit from sweating it out in a place. Now, Norwich, as we've said, has got incredible amounts of opportunity zone. The thing is to invest tax dollars. This is just one other quote unquote thing you can do. Now, there's a deadline, July 1st, 2026. Connecticut is supposed to start nominating zones. From what I'm seeing is they have no desire to nominate zones whatsoever. As a matter of fact, and we'll get into this in a moment, our should be abolished Connecticut Department of Economic Community Development, I challenge anybody to go to the website and click on opportunity zones. And the only thing your mouse is going to do is keep clicking. It doesn't even go to a link. And this is like, Connecticut's like one of 11 states that isn't doing anything. So basically what it comes down to is that there's a deadline in place for designating economic private capital coming in, and they doing a thing about it. Now, if you think this is some harebrained idea, some pie in the sky, some, oh, that's Donald Trump and we don't do Donald Trump and all this idiot nonsense, I can give you 1, 2, 3, Utah, District of Columbia, Arizona, Nevada, Colorado, Alabama, Ohio, Texas, not all, quote unquote, shall we say, red states, but are doing great things with this program. Now, Utah, right? 115 million per opportunity zone that it reached. I mean, making a friendly environment. And I say to myself, others, Arkansas, Hawaii of all people, Montana, Wyoming. And it's like, my mother would always say that, it takes one to know one, like charges attract. We're not getting any attraction here, anything whatsoever. And the most galling thing to me, and this is the thing, I do not want to see another 4 years of, shall we say, demo-commie socialist rule. I want to see Republicans win, but you try to show things and do things, and nobody seems to be paying any attention. They keep complaining. Our housing is affordable. Cities are stagnating. Investment is flowing to lower tax states. We have several things that we can do to immediately start driving capital. They ain't saying a word about it. And it's like, if this is going to be lost, if this election is going to be lost, it's going to be lost because we're not putting the damned opportunities out there. We're not doing anything to counteract socialism and communism. And you can say whatever you want. You can agree with me, disagree with me. I am of the belief that the only way you're going to defeat socialism and communism is by individual ability, giving somebody a shot to do something on their own. Yeah, it's like I was thinking about my late brother this morning, who was high up in Pitney Bowes and personnel, and he had one thing in his, shall I say, in his job description, Mike: keep people out of the union. Do whatever you can to do that. And the fact of the matter is, way back when Pitney Bowes had a great marketing thing, and it was the monopoly on the postage meter. Postage meter, what the hell is that? Well, I got to tell you about it, kids. But that all said, the whole idea was no one in that plant wanted to unionize. They had it too good the way it was happening, and we're just not seeing that. And I'm being, shall I say, I can be a whole lot more angry. I'm more concerned about the fact of we're failing all over the place, and we're really in for some soup, and people don't see it unless something happens. I'm doing my best here to give you something, give people something. Willing to work with them, willing to talk with them, because man, oh man, it ain't good. You're balling.
So, two things. One is, explain to everybody, if you could, what advantages come from an opportunity zone? Like, what do they get? And then part two of that is, your brother's company keeping folks out of the union means that, they were treating their employees, better than a union could treat them. So does the onus for that now sit with these companies right now in the state, let's say with the state of Connecticut, to actually be better employers and do a better job through their employees? Just a couple of thoughts from you on those.
Okay. The first thing is, what is an opportunity zone? You provide a means of somebody with, who has a large capital gain to defer it and invest it in an economically, shall we say, challenged area and stay there for a period of time to make the investment work. Now, what's going to happen? They're going to make it work. They're going to keep things clean. They're going to look out after themselves. They're going to provide jobs. They're going to provide, high-paying jobs, basically, in order to get this thing working if it's economically favorable. In order to do that, you need to have a government that is, shall I say, do you have to, micromanage this thing? Do you have to have, 50 million programs and 37 committees? Connecticut loves doing it. No, just simply stay the hell out of the way, because that's all you do many times is just get in the way. That's really the first thing. And then to provide, shall I say, somebody comes, Somebody else sees that, they come, that sort of thing. And as far as can the company do it on their own, they need a favorable environment, and they need to be in a place where they're not going to be overtaxed, they're not going to be dragged upon, they're not going to be pointed at as the bad guy, and they're going to, just to sit and do, basically. And that's those are basically the two big things. And is this a perfect solution, Lee Elci? No, it's not. It's not. Nothing is perfect, but yet it's the kind of thing that if you can increase private capital into an area that is mired by economic disadvantagement, destruction, and socialism, what the hell do you have to lose? That's what I'm saying. Because right now, what little we have, we're going to lose everything.
So you're saying like a place like Bridgeport or even some places
exactly
in New
Norwich.
Haven.
Norwich got a big one.
Yeah, you could actually give like tax abatements. Is that what we're talking about? Because a lot of folks don't like that, and I get it. But I mean,
no, this is not. I mean, this is a federal thing. In other words, it doesn't cost the state anything.
Right.
Basically, I mean, the only thing that. It's when so-and-so goes to sell their property, staying there 10 years, they don't pay the capital gains tax on what, but I mean, for staying there 10 years, I mean, honestly, truthfully, I mean, I do think that's worth an attaboy.
Okay. All right. What else you got?
Well, look at it this way. Again, socialism, communism, what exactly are we doing? People were sharing with me this weekend, the auditors of public accounts came out with an audit on the should be abolished Connecticut Department of Economic and Community Development. And basically it, and this is quote unquote, shall we say, not politically pointed as such. There are 22 major violations in this accounting report or on this audit. 11 of them are repeats, didn't do anything from the last audit. And it's the kind of thing, and these are the things that I think it comes down to what kind of an economy do you want? What kind of a society do you want? Do you want a society where people are doing for themselves, or do you want to have this perverted idea that Connecticut has that for some reason we're supposed to be, the SOP, the bank of last resort, the social service support of last resort. I'm not opposed to helping people, Elci, but basically all we seem to do is shovel money. And when we shovel money, right, what we're getting is effectively, out of control messes, millions of dollars lost. And hey, let's just go and do it again. Some of these findings in this report, there's a fraud investigation in the Small Business Boost program. I'm sitting there saying, why do we have a Small Business Boost program? Isn't that something that banks are supposed to be doing, basically? And or you go to some site, or you borrow from your friends and neighbors, $1 million loss there. Now, of course, there's the gold standard of Connecticut Department of Economic and Community Development failure. The Blue Hill Civic Association, $13.55 million, basically in the street. $300,000 wiretap. No idea where it went. Another finding, 75 of 102 products submitted to the governor lack cost estimates. That's like you going to the bank and saying, I want to build a house and I need a loan. Well, how much are you going to need, Mr. I have no idea, but just give me the money. So basically they give them the money. I mean, finding 4, I can go down all these, but of course we don't have time. 18 awards, $84 million showed missing performance metrics, project audits, balance sheets, cost statements, expired. $1 million improperly approved. Just give them the money. This one here is just drove me crazy. Uncollectible loans receivable understated by $22.6 million. All the people lending the money, they're still there. They got their jobs. They got their pensions. They got their vacations. Somewhere like $350 million and $292 million. On and on and on we go. And then the other thing is this Community Investment Fund, which basically is a feel-good. All the politicians sit there, Democrats and Republicans, and throw projects and thinking, hey, great, I'm going to get reinvested, I'm going to get reelected, and that sort of thing. And I mean, this is basically taking taxpayer money, throwing it at projects and saying, this is economic development. It's not. It's our money. And basically what it's doing is it's not attracting anything. I say to myself, where's the new capital? Where's the new thoughts? Where's the new ideas? What is going to make Connecticut desirable as Connecticut used to be, 30 years ago? And this kind of stuff just makes me absolutely crazy. And it's all based upon the fact that no one wants to, quote unquote, not be the guy bringing the cake to the party. Right. And there's things in this audit when you read it. Auditors did a fine job with it. But and this may not be an audit function, but I wish there was an evaluation as to the value of the economic value of subsidized activity. What is it doing other than scratching the mosquito bite? It didn't look at the fact of, well, if you keep subsidizing activity, is this a good thing? Where does the subsidy come from? Where does the juice come from? Right. You need capital, you need investment, you need vision. And if you don't have any of that, basically, as we don't, and you're not attracting it, it's absolutely, you're going to be in the soup. I've looked, honestly, truthfully, I don't want to see a Democratic victory, but Republicans are supposed to be the party here with the vision to say, these are the economic plans. This is what we're going to do to fix the state economically. They, they're not showing it. They're not doing it. And that's the part that really troubles me.
Tony D, I wish we had more time because I got more questions, but we'll pick it up next time. Tony D.
Maybe we'll do it next week. Yeah.
Well, it's all good. We have plenty of time, and you can also find Tony on Thursdays, 30 with Tony, right there on his X channel, and of course on Talk Red Media. Tony, I thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Until next time, we'll talk then.
Thanks, pal. Thanks,
all right,
everybody.
Buddy. You got it, Tony D. We'll come right back. Our good friend Bruce Flax will join us next.